Hisense is not a very common name in the TV industry. In 2010, while the world of television was ruled by the big names from Japan like Sony, Panasonic, and Sharp, this lesser-known Chinese brand was growing slowly without even getting noticed. But in 2015, the company came out of nowhere and bought Sharp's TV factory in Mexico, and just after 2 years, they fully acquired Toshiba. Yes, that Japanese tech giant you used to know. After that, the table just turned around. Hisense got access to better technology, gained trust in Japan, and stepped up their game in the premium TV market. By 2020, that once quiet brand had become a global name. And today, the company is valued at over $4 billion. While other brands are fading or fighting to stay relevant, Hisense has spread across more than 160 countries. So the questions are, how did Hisense overtake all the big names of tech? How did a brand many people couldn't even pronounce a decade ago become one of the largest TV sellers now? What was their play? Well, the story of Hisense started way back in 1969, in the coastal city of Qingdao, China, when a small state-owned factory called Qingdao No. 1, 2 radio factory was set up to make red lantern radios. At first, they were just producing basic electronics, but things started to shift in the 1970s when they got access to television manufacturing technology, something originally meant for national security use. By 1978, they were already making black and white TVs under the Qingdao name, which quickly became popular across China because they were affordable and reliable. Then, in the 1980s, they leveled up again by mastering color TV production, which set the stage for bigger things. As China's economy opened up in the 1990s, the company saw a chance to grow faster and compete on a national level. But there was one problem. The Qingdao name was too closely tied to the city and even confused people with the famous Tsingtao beer brand. So, to stand out and go global, the company rebranded as Hisense, a name that mixes high-tech and sense in English, while in Chinese it draws meaning from high and xin. With the new name came a new mission, and throughout the 90s, Hisense started expanding its product line and built a strong reputation for making reliable and affordable TVs in China. But they didn't stop there. In 2001, under the leadership of CEO Zhou Hujian, Hisense made a bold move toward tech independence. At that time, all Chinese TV makers relied on imported chips, mostly from the US, which made manufacturing expensive and dependent. Zhou believed this had to change, so Hisense set up a dedicated research center to develop its own chips. After 3 years of hard work, their engineers pulled off a homegrown chip that was 5 times cheaper than the foreign ones. This changed everything. Not only did it cut costs, but it also gave Hisense a serious edge over the competition. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, it didn't just shake banks and stock markets, it also changed the way people spent money on electronics. As the global economy slowed down, families everywhere became more careful with their wallets. Buying a premium television suddenly felt like a luxury, not a necessity. Big Japanese brands like Sony, Panasonic, and Sharp, which had dominated the TV market for decades, started to feel the pressure. These companies kept doing what they always did. Sony pushed high-definition displays, Panasonic invested heavily in plasma technology, and Sharp focused on ultra-slim models. They were still chasing perfection, offering bigger screens and sharper images. But the market had already changed. People, especially in emerging markets, weren't looking for the flashiest features anymore. They just wanted a TV that worked well, lasted long, and didn't break the bank. And this is exactly where Hisense had the upper hand. While the Japanese giants were busy chasing premium innovation, Hisense had been quietly focusing on value and practicality. Their TVs were simple, reliable, and most importantly, affordable. They didn't try to pack in every high-end feature. Instead, they gave people what they truly needed at a price they could actually afford. And while Japanese companies struggled to adjust, they were reluctant to lower prices, fearing it would hurt their brand image. Hisense leaned into the moment. As the economy slowly began to recover, the market didn't go back to the old ways. People had gotten used to buying smart and spending wisely. By then, Hisense had already built a strong presence in places where Japanese brands once ruled. In 2015, the company made a big decision by buying a Sharp factory in Mexico for $23.7 million, which gave them the rights to use the Sharp name for TVs in the Americas, so they just simply got into the US market in a big way. Then in 2017, they went even further and acquired Toshiba's TV division, along with a 40-year license to use the Toshiba brand. And with that acquisition, Hisense put itself in a very high rank in the industry, but pretty quietly. Just a year later, in 2018, they bought Gorenje, a well-known home appliance brand from Slovenia. This helped them grow even more across Europe. Over time, they also teamed up with big global names like Hitachi and Whirlpool, which boosted both their technology and market reach. To make the brand more familiar around the world, Hisense began sponsoring major sports events like the UEFA European Championships starting in 2016 and the FIFA World Cups in 2018. These events gave them huge global exposure. Now they are no longer just an up-and-coming brand. They've become a true global tech leader. Today, Hisense operate in 66 countries, with 23 research centers and 31 major factories around the world. The company has also grown into 3 main divisions: Hisense Visual Technology, Hisense Home Appliances, and Hisense Air Conditioning, each focused on different areas of innovation. And for the past 6 years in a row, Hisense has been listed among the top 10 most recognized Chinese brands worldwide. On top of all that, in 2024, they reached a huge milestone by capturing 63% of the global market for TVs that are 100 inches or larger, which shows how strong they are in the premium segment. These days, Hisense is doing way more than just making TVs. They're building a future around smart tech, connected living, and even smarter cities. On the TV side, they've rolled out some seriously advanced stuff in 2025, like the A85Q OLED and mini LED models such as the U7Q Pro, all powered by their own HiView AI Engine Pro. But they're not stopping at screens. Under their Hisense Home Appliances division, they're pushing smart fridges, washers, dryers, and air conditioners that connect through their Connect Life platform, basically a one-stop app where you can control everything from cooling your room to planning meals based on what's in your fridge. Beyond the home, they're stepping into full-on smart city projects. They've launched intelligent transportation systems that optimize bus routes and track driver behavior in real time to improve safety and cut waste. Their smart city platform also helps manage traffic flow, public safety, energy use, and even disaster alerts. To support all this growth, Hisense has expanded its global presence with new R&D centers, upgraded regional hubs, and new factories in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. So, from building home appliances that think for you to helping entire cities run smarter, Hisense is quietly building the tech future, piece by piece. So, who would have thought a small radio factory from Qingdao would one day give giants like Sony and Panasonic a serious run for their money? But that's exactly what Hisense did, slowly, smartly, and without making too much noise. From your living room to your kitchen to your daily bus ride, there's a good chance Hisense is working quietly behind the scenes. So yes, they may not have the flashiest name, but they sure know how to show up, take over, and make you say, "Wait, when did it become so big?"